Hello students, कैसे हो? Students, today we are going to discuss the new topic, that is chemical reaction and equation. So firstly, welcome into the Sri classes by Badwe sir. We already discussed the two topics from the science part first. Now today, the new topic is chemical reaction and equation. Students, you heard the word chemical reaction and equation, but now in this topic we are going to discuss what is meant by the chemical reaction, which are the types of the chemical reaction, how to balance the chemical reaction, then which are the rules for writing the chemical reaction, then types of chemical reaction. So these are the four main concepts we are going to study in this topic. Firstly, in introductory part, they are asking the two question: what are the types of the molecule of elements and the compound, and what is mean by the valence of element? Students, we know that valence of the elements means the combining capacity of an element, that means electron, which is the outermost electron, okay, from the cell, that is the valence of element. And when the atoms combine with each other, they form the molecule. For example, if I told you the molecule of the sodium chloride, name of the molecule is what? Sodium chloride. So here Na and Cl, these are the two elements which are bounded by ionic bond, okay. So that's why there is a formation of NaCl element. So molecule are made up of from the element, and in next question, valency means combining capacity. Whenever Na gives one electron to the chlorine, that time it becomes stable because octet is completed. Now third question, what is the requirement for writing the molecular formula of the different compound, and how are the molecular formula of the compound written? Students, you know that molecule means what? For example, if I wrote H2O molecule, H2O means water molecule. That is, here there are the two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom, okay. So that molecule is formed from the individual element, and these elements are hydrogen and oxygen. So how we will write the molecular formula? Molecular formula can be written by the individual symbols of the element, that means hydrogen and oxygen, and their number of element which are present in that molecule, that means कितने elements उसमें present है, okay. So that is the molecular formula of the any compound. Now next one, in earlier standard we have seen how the compounds are formed by the chemical combination of the element. We have also learned that the driving force, okay, behind the formation of that chemical bond, okay. Students, what they are saying, that we know that the chemical combination, that means combination of the compound. For example, if I wrote here one example, MgCl2, that is twice Mg, when react with the Cl2 atom, so that time they form the twice MgCl, okay. That means magnesium chloride, that compound is formed. So whenever the ribbon of the magnesium is ignited in presence of the Cl2 gas, that time there is the formation of the MgCl2. So in this way, what will be there? There is a combination, or we can say that carbon when reacted into the oxygen, or wood when burned in presence of oxygen, that time there is formation of the CO2 molecule, that is the carbon dioxide gas. So here also combination reaction is there, okay. So that is called as a combination. We will furtherly discuss what is meant by the combination when we will discuss the types of chemical reaction, okay. Now before it, chemical reaction, what is meant by the chemical reaction? Some scientists, okay, from the 18th and the 19th century carried out the fundamental experiment on the chemical reactions. They proved from their experiment that during the chemical reactions, composition of matter changes, and that change remain permanent. On the contrary, during the physical change, only the state of matter change, and change is often temporary in nature. Students, here they are saying that Scientists from 18th and 19th century discovered the so many reactions, and in this discovery they concluded that there are the two types of the changes. One is the chemical change and other is the physical change. Okay, now in physical change only the state of the matter is changed. For example, if I told you that conversion of the water, okay, to the solid or solid to the water, what here done exactly? Whenever you just put a glass of water into the refrigerator, that time, after some time, that cooling process is done into the refrigerator on that water, and water is converted into the ice cube or that particular ice cube. Okay, so here state of matter is changed only, so that is the physical change. No new substance is formed. Okay, so that is the physical change. And vice versa in chemical change, that is a physical change is irreversible and chemical change is, no, physical change is reversible. That means you can get the water from ice and ice from water, vice versa. So that is the reversible physical change. But in case of the chemical change, it is irreversible. For example, ripening of the fruit. ओके, हम समर के डेज में जो मैंगो खाते हैं वो पहले क्या होती है, वो आम होता है लेकिन कच्चा आम होता है. ओके, सो when that is ripened, that time we will get the that fully ripened mango. Okay, so that never come again to the unripe mango, so that is called as the chemical change. Okay, now transformation of the ice into the water, which is the change, that is the physical change. You may see that then cooking of the food, that is the chemical change. Ripening of the fruit, chemical change. Milk turn into the curd, chemical change. Evaporation of the water, that is physical change. Digestion of the food in stomach, chemical change. Then the size of the reaction, naphtha balls, that is chemical change. Staining of the shahabadi, chemical change. Packing of the glass object on the falling from the height, that is also the physical change. So here they gave the one table and they are saying that the that is the distribute into the physical change and the chemical change. So in this way, whenever only state is changed, that time it is the physical change, and whenever there is a change into the chemical composition, that time it is known as the chemical change. So I hope you understood that both the difference between the physical change and the chemical change. Let's see another part. Here, just 1 minute. A chemical reaction is a process in which some substances, after that in your textbook they gave one experiment regarding the physical change and the chemical change, you will see. Otherwise it will be taken by your science teacher into your that science lab also. You may just read that one. After that, a chemical reaction, they give the definition. A chemical reaction is a process. What they are saying? A chemical reaction is a process in which some substances undergoes the bond breaking and are transferred into the new substance by formation of the new bond. The substances taking part in a chemical reaction called as the reactant, whereas the substance formed as called as the product. Okay. For example, formation of the carbon dioxide, that is the gas, by the combustion of the coal into the air. So in this one, carbon and oxygen, they are formed. The carbon and oxygen are the reactant and carbon dioxide are the product. So a chemical reaction is represented by the writing chemical equation. Student, you just see that, for example, if the carbon is ignited into the air, that time there is a formation of the carbon dioxide. So what they are saying, in which when the chemical, what is meant by the chemical reaction? The substance taking part into the chemical reaction are called as the reactant. But before it, chemical reaction means what? Whenever two or more than two elements or the compound react with each other, that time there is a formation of the new compound or the molecule, that is called as the chemical reaction. And in this one, there is a formation of the new bond. Okay. For example, C and O2, it gives the CO2, that is the carbon dioxide. So there are the formation of the new bond in between the carbon and the oxygen. And student, they furtherly saying that the element which are present at the left hand side, these are the reactant. That means they are taking part into the chemical reaction. And the newly formed particle are or the molecule are known as product. So into the exam, they will ask the question, what is meant by the chemical reaction or define chemical reaction. and they will ask what is meant by the reactant and what is meant by the product. That time, by taking one example, you have to write firstly the definition and then the chemical part, that means the reactant and the product. So I hope you understood this. Now next one, that is the chemical equation. Simply, chemical equation is the equation which contain an arrow. At left hand side there is the reactant and at right hand side there are the product. Now here you can write this into the wording format. For example, aqueous solution of the copper sulfate and then the zinc dust. Okay, whenever react there is the formation of the aqueous solution of the zinc sulfate and the copper. Means what? Here, that is in wording format they give the reactant and the product, and into the chemical formula, that is that same reaction will be written as CuSO4, that is the aqueous solution of the copper sulfate, then Zn, that is zinc dust, then ZnSO4 and Cu. So the representation of the chemical reaction in the condensed form using the chemical formula is called as the chemical equation. Into the example they will ask the question what is meant by the chemical equation. That time you have to write this one and write in the one example. Okay, in the above equation, copper sulfate and Zn, these are the reactant, and ZnSO4, zinc sulfate and the copper is the product. Okay, so this one is about the chemical reaction and the equation. Now student, after that one, here they give writing a chemical equation. Let us see the convention followed by the writing the chemical equation. First one, in a chemical equation the reactant are writing at the left hand side. Okay, what they are saying here, they give the some rules. Reactants always write at the left hand side and product always write at the right hand side. Okay, just 1 minute, I will show you. Here they are saying that reactants are always right at the left hand side and products are always at the right hand side, and in between them there is an arrow. Okay, that arrow indicates the direction of the reaction. That means left से right reaction हो रही है, वो arrow का function है. Then if the reactant or the product are the two or more, they are linked with the plus sign. That means here CuSO4 and Zn is there, so they are separated by the plus sign. That means here the formation of the product, but with the help of these two different reactants. So for separating them there is a utilization of the plus sign. Then CuSO4 plus Zn, it gives the ZnSO4 and the Cu. So here they mention the state also, AQ for aqueous, S for solid, AQ for aqueous and S for solid. That means in chemical reaction you have to mention at the bottom into the bracket the state also then. Then CaCO3 and CaO plus CO2, here carbon dioxide is liberated. So this arrow indicates that liberation of the gas. Whenever heat is there, so that time there is word heat. Okay, that is the exothermic, endothermic. These are the types of the reactions which we will furtherly discuss into the type of reaction. Again, only remember that if heat is there, so that time utilize triangle. If gas is liberated, that time represent this such type of arrow. If precipitate is there, so that time use this such type of the arrow. Which one? Just like that. Just 1 minute, I will show you. Okay, so this one is the arrow. Now here some they gave the condition, that is the nickel catalyst. Okay, just 1 minute. Such type arrow is for the PPT and such type arrow is for the liberation of the gas. Next one, special informations or the names of the reaction and the products are written below their formula. For example, copper on the reaction with the concentrated nitric acid gives the reddish colored poisons, that is the nitrogen dioxide. For example, CuS. Okay, when react with, just 1 minute, I will show you. Nextly, they are saying that special information or the names reactant products are written below their formula. Okay, for example, copper on reaction with the concentrated nitric acid gives the reddish colored poisonous nitrogen dioxide. So here CuS, then HNO3 aqueous. So that time they give the condition also, concentrated. it gives the CuNO3 twice, then twice NO2, twice H2O. So they are saying that you have to mention the word concentrated below. So that is the particular condition. Okay, this is also one rule. Then however, on reaction with the dilute nitric acid, the product are formed in the nitric oxide gases. So that one is given here, and dilute is the word which is utilized for mentioning the condition. That means is it concentrated or whether it is a diluted. So in this one, what we discuss the first one is the chemical reaction types of then writing the केमिकल इक्वेशन, हाउ टू राइट, रिएक्टेंट कहाँ होते हैं, प्रोडक्ट कहाँ होते हैं, बीच में आरो होता है, कंडीशंस अगर डेल्टा लिखा है आरो पे तो हीट होती है, देन उसका जो स्टेटस रहता है वेदर इट इज़ अ सॉलिड लिक्विड और एक्वियस वो हमने मेंशन किया है. ओके, देन अगर वो डाइल्यूट है तो उसको डाइल्यूट लिखना है, कॉन्सनट्रेट है तो आपको इक्वेशन के नीचे कॉन्सनट्रेटेड लिखना है, वो हमने डिस्कस किया है. सो दीज आर द रूल्स फॉर केमिकल इक्वेशंस. वी डिस्कस द व्हाट इज मीन बाय द केमिकल इक्वेशन in with the wording chemical equation, and the that second one is that the symbolic chemical equation. Before it we discuss about the chemical change, physical change, and the introductory part of the chemical reaction. So student, I hope you understood this one. So please subscribe my channel. Today we are going to stop here. Take care and bye bye.